What's going on, guys? It's Ryan here with Get Rich or Die Mowing, and today we are talking about mistakes that you might be making as a new lawn care business owner. You probably don't even realize it. So, listen up. I'm going to teach you a few things, hopefully. All right, let's go ahead and get a big one out of the way, and that is underbidding jobs. You're underbidding jobs. You're working hard, you're getting out there busting ass, sweating a lot, but you're not making any money because you're underbidding jobs. Why are you doing that? Because you're scared of the word no. You're scared of what the customer is going to say. You're scared of the reaction. You're scared of looking like an idiot, a fool. Don't be. You have to make your money. It can be a little scary, right? You're out there in the customer's property, they have money, you're just a lawn guy, you show up in a beat up truck covered in grass and sweat. You're worried that you're going to piss them off. You're going to insult them. You're going to think, I'm just a mower. I shouldn't make that kind of money. Trust me, they have the money or they wouldn't call you. This is a luxury service. We're trying to deal with luxury clientele. I will tell you that if you're going out and giving a lot of estimates and landing 100% of them, if the customer says, yeah, let's go ahead and knock it out, do it, your price is too low. It's that simple. You need to evaluate. You're just working harder, but not smarter. I talked about in the last video how you need to nail your hourly rate. You need to figure out what your hourly rate is. Figure out how much it costs for maintenance on the lawnmower, maintenance on your truck, tires, oil, gas, marketing, websites, all that stuff. Come up with your hourly rate for time worked, not time driving, not time planning, not time thinking about working, actual time worked. It could be $100 an hour, it could be $200 an hour, it could be $1,000,000 an hour. Your price is going to be what you need, specifically to your needs, your overhead. If you have a lot of employees, if you have a lot of machinery, if you have landscaping jobs, your price is going to be a lot different than the solo operator who's going out there just mowing the smaller yards. So figure out your number, stick to it, nail the estimate. You'll get better with experience, I promise. The main point is that you cannot let the customer dictate the price of the work. You set a price, you do the estimates, you make money. If they have a problem with it, they can go with somebody else. If you're not landing enough jobs, then you need to evaluate your own prices and estimations. Mistake number two, your overhead is too high. I see this happen with a lot of guys that are new. They run out and get them a business loan. They buy a box truck, the fanciest mowers, hire a crew of 3 or 4 guys, and they don't even have a customer yet. They're planning too far ahead in the future. It's fine if your bankroll is geared for it, but for the average Joe, you need to let the company pay for itself. Let the company pay for the new mower, pay for the nice truck, the bigger trailer, the better weed eater, the fancy marketing ad on the radio. It comes in time. You don't need an employee on day one. You can do the majority of the work on your own, unless you're just physically incapable of doing it, or if you have a life savings that you're dumping into it or something. But for the majority of it, let the business pay for itself. Number three is a big one, and it's a tough one early on until you get a nice little list of customers, and that is route density. You're driving here, then you got a 20-mile drive for your next property. That's 20 minutes where you're making $0, and you're actually making negative dollars because you are not only not earning money on yards, but you're spending money on gas and it's wear and tear on your tires and your trailer tires. It's a bad deal. As soon as possible, try to get those routes where they're tightened up. If you're mowing one side of the street and you look across the road and you see they have a neighbor who's over there mowing, they're elderly, their lawnmower's on fire, their grass is a foot high, walk over there and say, hey, I notice that you're having a hard time. I mow yards. I'm Ryan. I'm so and so. I can offer you a $10 off if we can get on the same schedule here. I'll mow you and him at the same exact time and get them on a schedule. It just makes sense. Route density. At first, you are going to have to service a wider area. You're going to get some of those calls, and you're like, I don't even know where that is, but I guess I'll drive over there. It might be $1,000 property. Who knows? It's probably not. It's probably a waste of time and money. You're just working harder. You're not working smarter. Tighten it up. All right, next is for the guys that are a little more established or for the guys who want to just hit the ground running. And that is you hire workers, but you just hire whoever. You hire anyone that's a warm body that shows up that's ever touched a weed eater, and you're paying them too much damn money. As I already said, you should be doing the majority of your work on your own until the business is at least profitable or becoming profitable, where you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if you're at the point that you feel like you must have an employee, it's just too much work, it's too hard, you're selling too much, your business is growing, Okay, that's fine. Be choosy in who you hire. I know people are not begging you to come and run a weed eater or operate a mower. It's hot, it's hard, they want too much money, they want you to buy them lunch, they don't have a vehicle to show up. But I caution you against just hiring whoever. It represents you. They're basically a billboard with your name and face on it, and their actions could cost you a lot of money. One thing that I would caution against is, and this is probably going to piss a lot of people off, hiring smokers. You would be amazed how many people will not want a smoker in their yard. If they want to smoke in the truck, smoke it up. Smoke a carton on the way to your next property. But at customers' properties, I've had it a rule for years. We are not smoking no cigarettes, no cigars, no Black and Miles, no weed, no bongs, nothing. We're not smoking. It turns a lot of your higher end customers off, and it's going to look bad on you and cost you money in the end. Besides that, if you have the guy that looks like he just got out of prison about 5 minutes ago, is that what people are going to want in their yard with their kids, with their pets, with their wives? No. You need to hold your business to a higher standard because it represents you. It's going to cost you money. You need to run a tight ship. Next mistake is accepting too many shit properties. Customer calls you. They say, my lawnmower broke. I just need you out here for a one-time mow. Grass is 5 feet high. There's bricks in it. There's a dead dog in it. It's all kind of obstacles. They don't want to pay you much because they have a lawnmower. They're going to do it on their own, right? So you're like, yeah, I'll help you out. Maybe I can land them as a regular customer. They've already been honest with you and told you it's going to be a one-time job. Why are you going to tear your machinery up and spend all day long there for a one-time job? If you're desperate for work and you don't mind your blades being ruined and only having a one-time customer, then go ahead and take it. Those are the kind of customers that either I charge them a fortune for because the city is going to find them, or I just walk away and leave it for somebody else. If the property is going to be trouble for you, maybe your equipment is too large and doesn't fit in the backyard, so you're forced to push mow an area that should really be done by a rider. Maybe it is prone to flooding, so scheduling is a problem. I've had a lot of customers where they're in a low spot and it just seems like the property is always wet. So scheduling is a nightmare. What ends up originally as a bi-weekly job or a weekly job ends up being maybe once a month, and their yard looks like shit and it takes a long time. It clumps up, there's ruts, I have to weed eat most of it. Those are properties that you need to dump as soon as possible. You don't want to fill up your spots with problematic customers that you're not making profit on. Also, you want to line up customers who want the extra services. You want the people who want the weed treatment, fertilization, who want flower beds, who want all the extra stuff, hedges. You're not looking for somebody that just wants mowing. Now, if it's a great paying customer, they pay you regularly, super friendly, the price is good, you're satisfied, you're in and out, it's fine. But for the majority, you want to line up customers who want the works. That's what you're after. You're not looking to be a bottom feeder. Problem number, I don't know what it is, 8, 9, 20. Not servicing your equipment. You work hard, right? You wake up early, you go do a million yards, come home exhausted. You just want to shower, crack open a beer, have dinner, and sleep. You do that day in, day out. Problem is, you're not thinking about your equipment for the long term. You're not greasing stuff up. You're not making sure that your tires are in good shape. You're not making sure that your trailer is still operational or that your truck's oil is fine. Your blades also need to be very sharp. It can actually set you back a lot of time and it's going to look like shit. You got to work in time for maintenance. It is important. This is a full-time job. You need to treat it as such. You don't get to just come home and crash out. You should be lining up customers for the next day. I give mine a 24-hour notice, but I always make sure that my equipment is ready to roll on a moment's notice. As soon as somebody calls me for an estimate, 9 times out of 9, when I go out there and give the estimate, I do the work then. You want to make sure that you're ready to rock and roll. Always have gas, always have blades that are sharp. Always make sure that your deck is cleaned off and not clumped up with mud or dirt or grass or anything. It's important. The next mistake that new lawn guys make is being too lenient when it comes to telling the customers what's up. And I've talked about this kind of stuff a few times, and you guys probably think, wow, you just really hate customers, don't you? No, I love customers, but I also love to make money. What I mean by being too lenient is letting the customers call the shots, letting them tell you what they will and will not do. And that may not make a lot of sense now, but When it comes to scheduling, I have two options: weekly or bi-weekly. You will get customers who say, you know what, I think it can wait another week. Let's go ahead and wait a third week. Or, you know what, I think we can just let it go monthly. Absolutely not. Unless it's like a drought and it's at the end of the season or something and the grass is dead or it's not growing. But the majority of it, of the season, the heart of the season, if you're on my regular list, if you're on a schedule, you must agree to either weekly or bi-weekly mowing. I will cut you a break on price if it's weekly. If it's bi-weekly, it's going to be standard pricing. If the weather doesn't cooperate and we have to wait a few extra days, I get that. That's fine. But we are not going 3 weeks. We are not going a month. You are taking up a spot that could be held for someone else. It's harder work. The lawn is going to look like shit. And it's just not acceptable. You got to let them know what your rules are. You can't spring it on them later on. You got to be firm with them. Trust me, they respect it actually. If you tell them this is what I have to have, if that's a problem, then you need to go with somebody else, they fall in line usually. And that just kind of goes with budgeting also. How are you going to know how you're going to be able to pay your insurance or your employees or pay your bills on your house if you don't even know how much you can budget for? If you just say, okay, I'll come out, you just called me whenever the yard grows and you need me to come on out there and give you a mow, call me up. How in the world are you going to have a budget? You're not. It's not a good way to operate. Alrighty. Number one thing that people are not doing when they start a lawn care business is upselling. I talked about it in the first video. Mowing is like a handshake. It gets you in the front door. It gets people comfortable with you being on their property. It lets them realize that they can trust you because you're a reliable person that does good work. All that stuff is wonderful, but you're never going to make as much money as you could by just mowing. It's a welcome. What actually gets you the vacation and the Rolex is the extra services: weed treatment, fertilizer, treating for pests, trimming a few branches, doing hedges, building a flower bed, pavers, roses. There's a million options. There's a million options. Lighting, even. You could do all sorts of stuff. That's where you make your actual money at. But you're not going to land those jobs unless people already know you and trust you. That's why it's important every single time to do a great job on mowing, because they see that a few times and they're like, hey, I've always wanted a flower bed. Our yard is kind of ugly at the moment. Who could I possibly call that I would trust and hand this check to build me a flower bed so it makes my wife happy, adds value to our home? I'll call Ryan. I know that Ryan's going to be there and do a wonderful job. That's profit. You can make more in one landscape project than you can make in a week of mowing. That's actual facts. So get out there and sell, sell, sell. Always keep your eyes peeled. Always be looking around at what they might need. It never hurts to ask. All they can say is no. The last thing that I'm going to say that I'll leave you with might seem like a no-brainer, and you're going to say, I would never be that guy. I love doing yards. I'm an honest guy. Always do good work. Always do good work. Your name is attached to your business. If you get a reputation around town as being the half-ass guy who leaves yards that really don't look as good as you know they should look, you get lazy, it's too hot, you're thinking about the next yard that pays more, that word is going to get around and it's going to bite you in the ass. You need to do great work always. If you're the kind of person who feels like you might start slacking off as you get a little tired, get a little hot, it's yard number 6 out of 12 on that day, then you just need to do something else, because this is going to be day in, day out, the same old thing. But I treat every yard like it's my own yard. And I have customers that I've never even met. I do their lake properties. I live next to one of the biggest lakes in Texas. A lot of my properties are weekend homes or summer houses. They live in Dallas and they trust me. They send me either a check or they pay me on Venmo or PayPal, but I haven't met them. And that's the way it's been for a decade. I take care of their property. When they come out there, it looks amazing, even though they may not be out there for 3 months. They may not show up for half a season. But when they show up, it looks great. And they know that and they trust me. That's the kind of person that you need to be, is a trustworthy person. Um, it sounds cheesy. It sounds like, wow, you're just building yourself up to be this amazing person. No, I'm not an amazing person, but I am a hard worker and it does pay off in the end. So just as a warning, make sure that you always do a good job, but don't half-ass it. I think that's going to be it for this one, guys. As I think of more tips, I will be sure to make new videos and share things. If you have some tips or some mistakes that you think people are going to make when they're starting out their lawn care business, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. Let's get it out there and talk about them. This is a channel meant to help out people that are new or people that are in the middle of running a lawn care business that are running into problems. I'm going to try to make some more in-depth things. This is kind of the beginner guide for now. But as the season starts up, I'm going to take you out to the properties. I'm going to let you meet some customers, going to let you meet some problems. I'm going to have you here with me when the times get rough, the times get good, and hopefully we can all learn and grow and make money together. That's it. See ya.